Ready to dive into the fascinating history of the Anuradhapura Kingdom? You're in the right spot for some cool insights about Sri Lankan history. We're diving into the era after King Dewanampiyathissa, exploring Elara's invasion and King Dutu Gemunu's rise to victory in a changing political scene. In the heart of the Indian Ocean, the island of Lanka, a jewel of history and legend, was on the brink of profound change. The year was 205 BC. The northern kingdom of Anuradhapura, a beacon of civilization and faith, fell under the shadow of a foreign invader. Elara was a businessman sailing with his crew when he suddenly spotted the old king Asela's kingdom and launched an attack. He crossed the Palk Strait, his eyes set on the throne of Anuradhapura. The reigning king, Asela, was no match for the strength and strategy of the Chola forces. After a fierce battle, Elara took the capital and crowned himself king at Anuradhapura Kingdom. For 44 years, Elara ruled over Anuradhapura. History remembers him as a just ruler, a king who, despite being an invader, governed with a firm hand and a fair mind. He respected the local customs and the Sri Lankan Buddhist faith of his subjects. Tales abound of his commitment to justice, like the story of the bell of justice hung at his palace gate, which anyone, rich or poor, could ring to seek his judgment. He dispensed justice impartially, even sentencing his own son to death for accidentally killing a calf with his chariot. Yet, despite his just reign, a deep-seated tension simmered beneath the surface. He was a foreign king, a Tamil Hindu ruling over a predominantly Sinhalese Buddhist population. The spirit of independence was not extinguished. It was merely waiting for a spark. While Elara ruled in the north, the southern part of the island, the kingdom of Ruhuna, remained independent. It was a rugged, proud land, a bastion of Sinhalese culture and resistance. Here, a prophecy was whispered, a hope was nurtured. A hero would rise from the south to reclaim the motherland. In the royal court of Ruhuna, King Kavantissa and his wise queen Viharamahadevi raised two sons, Gamani Abhaya and Tissa. From a young age, Prince Gamani stood out. He was passionate, determined, and had a strong drive to unite the Sinhalese people under one banner. A famous legend tells of a young Gamani found sleeping curled up in his bed. When his mother, Queen Viharamahadevi, asked why he didn't stretch his limbs, he replied, "How can I sleep with my limbs stretched out, when to the north we are hemmed in by the Tamils, and to the south by the uncrossable sea?" This boy, filled with such patriotic fervor, would become known to history as Dutu Gemunu, or disobedient Gamani, for his defiance of his father's cautious approach to war. King Kavantissa, a prudent ruler, preferred diplomacy and strategic patience. He understood the cost of war and sought to build his kingdom's strength before confronting the powerful Elara. He made Dutugemunu and Tissa swear an oath never to fight each other and to always respect the Buddhist clergy. But Prince Dutugemunu's patience wore thin. He saw his father's caution as weakness. In a symbolic act of defiance, he sent his father women's jewelry, implying he was too timid to fight. Enraged, Kavantissa ordered his son's arrest, but Dutugemunu fled into the highlands, earning his famous nickname. During his exile, he lived among the common people, building alliances and gathering a loyal following. He was not just a prince, he was becoming a leader of the people, understanding their hopes and their struggles. After his father's death, Dutugemunu returned to Ruhuna. A brief but tragic conflict with his own brother Tissa for the throne ensued, a violation of their oath. Dutugemunu emerged victorious, but the clash left a deep scar. Reconciling with his brother, he finally turned his full attention northward. The time for waiting was over. The campaign to liberate Anuradhapura was not a single battle, but a long, arduous journey. Dutugemunu was a brilliant strategist. He didn't simply march his army to the capital. He planned meticulously, building a formidable force that included not just soldiers, but also his 10 great giants, or Dasa Maha Yodayo, 10 champions, each with legendary skills in warfare. His war elephant, Kandula, was a force of nature on the battlefield, a trusted companion since childhood. the army advanced north, capturing fort after fort from Elara's chieftains. Each victory was hard-won, a testament to the discipline and morale of the southern army. The campaign was portrayed not as a war of conquest, but as a righteous mission to restore the island's faith and unity. Before marching, Dutu Gemunu famously declared, "This endeavor of mine is not for the joys of royalty, it is for the establishment of the faith of the Buddha." The advance was a strategic masterpiece. Fortresses that had stood for decades fell to Dutugemunu's forces. One by one, Elara's generals were defeated. The momentum was unstoppable. The Sinhalese army, fueled by a desire for freedom and national pride, pushed relentlessly towards the capital. The air grew thick with anticipation as they approached the heavily fortified city of Anuradhapura. Elara, now an old man in his 70s but still a proud warrior, knew the final confrontation was at hand. He would not surrender his kingdom without a fight. He prepared his army for the ultimate siege, reinforcing the city walls and bracing for the assault. The fate of Lanka was to be decided at the gates of its ancient capital. The final battle for Anuradhapura was epic. The siege was long and brutal. Dutugemunu's forces surrounded the city, their war cries echoing against the stone ramparts. Inside, Elara and his troops mounted a desperate defense. Finally, the southern gate was breached. The battle spilled into the streets of the sacred city. It was chaos, the clash of bronze and iron, the thunder of war elephants, the cries of warriors. Amidst the maelstrom, two figures stood out, the two kings. According to the chronicles, to spare the lives of their soldiers, they agreed to decide the outcome in single combat. The young, determined Dutugemunu, mounted on his great elephant Kandula, faced the aged but still formidable King Elara, also on his own war elephant, Mahapabata. The duel was a spectacle of courage and skill. The two elephants charged, the kings brandishing their spears. They circled, testing each other's defenses. It was a clash of generations, a battle between the old invader and the Sinhalese new hope. In a decisive moment, Dutugemunu maneuvered Kandula with expert precision. He urged his elephant forward, and with a perfectly aimed throw, his spear struck Elara. The old king fell from his mount, and with him, 44 years of foreign rule came to an end. The battle was won. Anuradhapura was liberated. But what happened next defined Dutugemunu not just as a conqueror, but as a truly great king. Instead of celebrating his victory with contempt for the vanquished, Dutugemunu showed profound respect for his fallen adversary. He ordered that Elara be given a royal cremation with full military honors at the very spot where he fell. He erected a tomb to honor the just king and decreed that all who passed it, even kings in their palanquins, must dismount and show respect. This act of magnanimity was unprecedented. It was a gesture of reconciliation, a sign that the war was over and the healing could begin. Dutugemunu was not just uniting the land, he was uniting its people. With the island unified under his rule, King Dutugemunu ushered in a golden age. His reign was one of peace, prosperity, and a grand renaissance of Buddhist culture. He became one of the greatest builders in Sri Lankan history, constructing magnificent stupas and monasteries that stand to this day as monuments to his faith and his vision. He built the Mirasaveti Stupa and, most famously, the Ruan Welisaya, a colossal dome-shaped stupa that remains one of the most sacred sites in the Buddhist world. He also constructed the 9-story Lohapasada, or brazen palace for the monks. His reign was the fulfillment of the prophecy, the realization of a lifelong dream. He had risen from a defiant prince in the south to become the hero king who united his nation. The story of Dutugemunu and Elara is more than just a tale of war. It is a timeless epic of patriotism, courage, and the noble spirit of reconciliation that laid the foundation for a unified Sri Lankan identity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the past of Sri Lankan kingdoms, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from history.